Hi guys, this is Hafsa. Today I will be presenting this tool called Armitage as a part of my assignment. So if you see here, this is the machine I'm going to attack. It is called MSIS-2K23. So here it is all set in VMware Workstation. I need the IP address of this machine. So I need this IP address as 192.168.178.130. Now I have Armitage running here. I already set it up already, but I'm gonna tell you guys how you guys can start it. So you go to the terminal, you type in sudo apt install Armitage, then it gets installed. Before starting Armitage, you need to have PostgreSQL running on the system. So you type in service PostgreSQL start, and after that you just simply type in Armitage. It's gonna take a little bit of time and then it gets started. This is the first initial interface you are gonna see when you start Armitage. So what is actually happening here is right now we have no device. The device to be attacked shows up here. The only thing we need right now from Metasploitable2 is the IP address that I just checked using ifconfig command. What I am going to do is, first of all, I will perform nmap scan on that IP address to see what ports are open there. So I go to hosts, nmap scan, intense scan, I type in the IP address. It was 192.168.178.130. I press OK. And now it is scanning all the ports. Okay, it has already scanned all the open ports. Okay, so now on all these open ports you can perform attacks. So for instance, I am gonna choose this port number 5900. So this port is basically for VNC service. Okay, so VNC service is like remote host service. So now what am I going to do is I'm going to take this port 5900 in order to perform attack on the VNC service. I will go to auxiliary, then I will go to scanner. Here I will go to VNC here, and then I will press on VNC login. Now it shows me this dialog box. The only thing I need to add here is this R host. Everywhere I will be changing R host value because it's blank here. I have to type in 192.168.178.130 to specify that I am performing this VNC login attempt on Metasploitable2. Okay, so this port number 5900 is already shown up here. This is because Armitage is based upon Metasploit, and it is a lot easier for the user to attack performs using this. Okay, so I will go ahead, press launch. Before pressing launch, when nmap scan was done, you can see here this host. This is Metasploitable2. You can see the IP address here. Okay, so now I will press on launch, and it says starting VNC login sweep. Okay, so let's wait a little bit until this gets access to the VNC on the Metasploitable2. As soon as this scan is done, you see here it did a brute force attack in order to get into the VNC on the Metasploitable2. So it says login successful using password, the word password as password. All right, so now if I press here VNC viewer, and then I type in 192.168.178.130 5900, now you will see it says password. Here I have to type this password that brute force attack gave me. You type in password, press enter. Now you see this is the VNC. This is giving me remote desktop access to the root of Metasploitable2. Okay, so this means my attack was successful. Okay, now we are moving towards next attack. Now in next attack, we will be performing attack on the Tomcat web server. So what I am gonna do is, let me open Firefox. Let me show you. For Tomcat's web server, default port number is 8180. So I go here, I type in 192.168. Okay, it already shows 178.130 on port number 8180. I press enter, I see this. Okay, this is just home page. I need to go into Tomcat administration. All right, to get into the Tomcat server running on this particular IP address, and you see here it asks for username and password. In order to get this username and password, I'm gonna perform brute force attacks using attack services available for Tomcat web server in Armitage. So let's go ahead and do this. Now what I am gonna do is, I will go in auxiliary, then I am gonna go in one second, auxiliary. After auxiliary, I will go to here, HTTP. I open it up. I will find Tomcat server file from here. Okay, this is Tomcat manager login. I press on this. Now I have to change some values here. So what I am gonna do is, in our host, I am gonna put 192.168.178.130, the IP address of Metasploitable 2. I'm gonna fix this port number because port number for Tomcat is not 8080, it's 8180. So I fix it, I press enter. Now I press launch, and it is gonna start a brute force attack to get those credentials for the Tomcat server. Now we will see a successful brute force, and this brute force attack, it would be using the default word list for the Tomcat web server. So just a quick demonstration of brute force attack. Here it says login failed because it tried username as admin and password as admin, it failed. Again it tried username admin, password manager, it failed. It tried username admin, password role1, it failed. It took a lot of time to brute force, so it is still in the process of brute forcing the ID and password for us, but I just noticed that it has given us the correct username and password. It says in here, login successful, Tomcat. It means username is Tomcat, password is Tomcat. Now let's go to the Tomcat server and try this if we can get access to it. So I come here in username, I'm gonna type in Tomcat, and then in password I type in Tomcat. If I press login, all right, you see I have been logged in. This means our brute force attack on Tomcat server gave us the correct credentials. Now we have access to Tomcat's web server in Kali Linux. Now the third attack I'm going to perform is gonna be on the SSH of Metasploitable 2. So I will go to here auxiliary, then I will go to scanner, then I will go to SSH and I will press SSH login. Our host goes as 192.168.178.130, and I have to set path to this user pass file. So I'm gonna go ahead, and in that case it has already taken me to the Metasploitable framework folder. In there I am in the data folder. Now I will go to word lists, and then I will select word list, file, this root user pass. I'm gonna click open, and now I'm gonna press launch. Now what is going to happen is the file that I chose, now this attack will perform brute force on that specific word list that I selected, and once if it has the password in there, it's gonna give me login success along with username and password. Now let's wait till it gets done. As you see, it says success MSF admin. Here you see this beautiful demonstration of like this presentation is basically now showing that this system has been compromised. All right, so now you see MSF admin as an username and MSF admin as a password. Okay, so now if you go ahead and type in here sessions, you will see that there would be SSH session active. Actually, that is still scan isn't complete yet. Okay, now you see shell Linux, shell root for is gonna run on our local host, and that root basically belongs to 192.168.178.130. that is Metasploitable 2. Okay, so now if I go ahead, click here, shell 1, I press on interact. Now this is the shell of Metasploitable 2. If I go ahead and type in here ifconfig, you see it says 192.168.178.130, which means I am accessing Metasploitable 2 using my own local host, because I compromised Metasploitable 2 using SSH in Armitage. Now if I type in here ls, it will list the file system of Metasploitable 2. All right, so this was it. So we basically performed attack on the VNC, that gives remote access to Metasploitable 2, Tomcat web server, and lastly on the SSH shell of Metasploitable 2. So that was it. Thank you.